leaders, thank you so much for teaching today. This week will be May 29th, and we get to be in our third week studying the divisions of the books of the Bible as we go through this entire series over the summer. So this week we are on the books of history. Yeah, should be able to tell you those. That's Joshua, Judges, Ruth, 1st, 2nd Samuel, 1st, 2nd Kings, 1st, 2nd Chronicles, Ezra, Nehemiah, Esther. You will find this lesson plan in the Google Drive where it usually is. We will do a quick review of the books of the law or the Pentateuch, and then go straight into this following the skit that we'll get a couple of kids to read through together. Their lesson plan that's already written is really good on their kind of synopsis for each book of the Bible, each of these books. And it's talking about how in these books of history, the division of history, this is all about how well the people either obeyed God or didn't, and what the consequences either direction were. Synopsis on each book. Joshua tells how Joshua led the people into the promised land. Judges tells the story of men and women that God brought up to save the Israelites from their enemies. Ruth, love story. She's loyal to her mother-in-law Naomi. Goes on. Books of Samuel, Kings, and Chronicles are all about the kings, the human kings of Israel, and notes that King David is Ruth's great-grandson, so does a good job carrying that through. Then it talks about going forward, and Ezra and Nehemiah were the ones that God brought up as God was redeeming the people back into Jerusalem again, and that they rebuilt the wall, and then followed by Esther, who becomes the queen of Persia, but she is an Israelite, and God uses her again to rescue his people. So it's really cool. The application activities will be for the creative kids, continuing kind of working on that books of the Bible bookshelf for themselves, and then doing a watercolor painting of a few of the generations of their family. So maybe a grandparent, their parent, and themselves, looking at their personal history. And then in the physical room, they will be playing history basketball, which means we are going to have one of those fancy Nerf basketball hoops, and they're going to stand with their back toward it because they're throwing backwards in time, and they're going to try to make their shot as their team is talking about the books of history. And then the other game that they'll play is there'll be cups or cans with the books written on them, and they will build a pyramid in order, reminding them of Ezra and Nehemiah as they rebuilt the wall around Jerusalem, and then they will throw something at it to knock it down, like when God led them in to conquer the promised land in Jericho. That's it. We're going to keep rolling. Thank you so much for leading this week. Talk to you later.